Hi, my name is Kimberly Jones. I'm born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina, and this is my second semester in the program. So, I think in telling you who I am, I also need to tell you my library story. I have been working for the library for the past 14 years. I've been in the public library space that entire time, and so I have been able to be a part time clerk, a shelver. I've been full time. I've also been a teen library specialist, supervisor, and most recently, I have become the location manager, and I've been in that role for the past 3 years. I chose this class this semester because last year I was able to attend a library school journal training that was 3 parts, and it was on trauma informed librarianship. And while it was very, very informative, it was very jam packed. They gave us a lot of information in that 3 week course, and while we had access to the materials and the recordings in from those sessions, I left feeling like I learned so much, but I did not have enough. When thinking about the communities that I've worked in the readings and the tests that we had to do this week, I have to think about how the traumas in any of those neighborhoods affect how our customers navigate this world we live in. And so my ACE score was a 1. And for me, when I saw that first, I was a little surprised. I come from a one parent household, and so just going into it and knowing what it was, I just assumed that I would have more things that would have affected me, and caused my score to be higher. But it actually was lower, and then also with some context in thinking about it, how does that score? How does that lower score like impact me as an adult? Now I think it has contributed, even though it's just a 1, to some things that I've experienced or have had to navigate in this world as an adult. But also, in thinking about my score, I also have to be honest and say that, hey, because my score is so low, I've also sometimes assumed others have not been impacted by certain things. And so I know from having conversations with people and, friends and just meeting people that they have been impacted by those things, but I have been navigating this world under the assumption that, everybody has had a fairly decent life. And I know that's a real positive way to look at it, but it's also not very realistic when it comes to navigating the world. Like, if I'm being realistic, like most people have been impacted by at least one of those adverse childhood experiences or more. And so knowing that now, it's just being more self-aware of how I navigate, and how I not having how I navigate, but how I think, or perceive how other people have experienced this life. Also knowing from the reading like how those the higher your score goes, the more like likely you are to have depression or use drugs, or your test scores, like all of that stuff is impacted by a higher ACE score. But also learning how, if there are interventions that those things can help improve, like how one may um deal with being exposed to those adverse childhood experiences later on in life. And then also thinking about how librarians, I'm so sorry, I think y'all can hear my son, how us as the librarians can utilize our knowledge of the types of traumas that people are impacted with to make our spaces more safer for them, and more welcoming and understanding, so that we can all support each other as we just navigate this world. And also to touch on the other reading we had that mentioned the pilot program, that where they had the social work students come into the library to offer programming not only to the customers, but it also did stuff with the staff to kind of help them all become more trauma informed. I work at a library system of privilege because we have social workers. Like, I can send our customers to a social work department, and they are able to support and give us resources. They also are able to just share resources with our locations so that we can better support our customers. But not all libraries have that. And so I feel like the work of making sure that we are trauma informed as librarians is highly important, because when we are in spaces where we don't have a social work department that is dedicated to helping the needs of our customers, we ourselves have to be in position to support our communities. I'm excited to learn more about trauma informed librarianship this semester. I think the work that we do in this course will not only help us support our communities as we go out and become librarians in the future, but it's also going to help us support our teams if some of us move into leadership roles, and then also just ourselves as we are working in this field. And this work sometimes can be heavy, and I think that this course is going to help us be able to navigate that better. I'm excited to learn with you all this semester. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.